Hey everyone, welcome to another wonderful episode of Wise Wind Down. Yes, cling, 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 cling. I am your host, 𝘆𝗿𝗲, and I'm so glad that you're joining us tonight. Whether you're live or catching the replay, welcome to Wives Wind Down. Hey y'all, I see y'all coming in already. Hey Renita, hey Timmy, hey Princess Lexi. Listen, y'all be on time. Y'all like 8 o'clock. It's time for Wives Wind Down. Y'all already know. I'm so excited about tonight. If you are new, hey Lexi, if you are new to Wives Wind Down, welcome. We are going to have a wonderful time. Hey Tasha, we are going to kiki. We are going to keep it real, and we're going to have some real live girl talk. Hey y'all, and I see you, Ashley. I'm gonna let you in a second, girl. I'm so excited. Okay, let me get myself together. But for those of you all who are new to Wives Wind Down, I am your host, 𝘆𝗿𝗲. I have been married for for 12 years now. I had to think about it for a second. For 12 years. And I remember when I first got married, I was a little kind of scared. I was like, this is new. I really wasn't sure, how am I supposed to be a wife? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I knew I loved my husband, but I was like, okay, now I have to be a wife. Like, what is that? And I would see little issues come up, or we would argue about little things, and I would be like, oh my gosh, is this marriage? Is my marriage over? What's going on? Only to realize that a lot of other women just like me were going through the same thing or had been through the same thing, but nobody was talking about it. So I wanted to create this outlet so that women could come. So whether you've been married for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or maybe you're not married at all and you're like, am I really ready to get married? Let me go see what these wives are talking about. This is the place for you. So we keep it real. We keep it honest. We keep it all the way real, and we have some good old girl talk. And I just wanted to create this outlet and a safe place for us to do that, especially because I feel like once we, pull back the curtain and we are honest about the goods, the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, then that makes us all better women, and we don't feel like we're alone, and you don't feel like that your marriage is over if you might be having an issue or you're going through some difficult situation. So that's why I created this outlet, and I'm so appreciative to all of you all who have been joining and rocking with me since day one. If this is your first night, you're going to love it because our guest is phenomenal. So I'm not even going to keep talking because I am just so excited about tonight. Y'all was already hitting me up, and in the comments was lit. Y'all was like, I can't wait. I love Ashley. I'm like, I do too. So without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome her in. I see y'all. Hey Ebony. Hey Nina. Shorty Red and Cheryl. I see y'all. Thank y'all for joining tonight. I'm so excited. Make sure y'all got y'all glasses now.
Oh, wait, can you see me? Oh, hi. Oh, wait, I have to adjust myself. Hold on, let me get it together.
Yes, you almost
that's
there.
Not
You're
it.
almost there.
That's not it. Wait, is that it? Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Hi, girl.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you have one of those rotating cameras.
Well, it's like what is this thing? It's called a DJI Osmo.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it's like a phone. It holds your phone and it rotates, and it's like my husband got it for me for my anniversary.
Aww.
That's enough. No, don't say aw. It's another story for another day.
Yes, we might get into it tonight.
Yeah, let me get enough liquor in me and I'll get into it.
Right. It is a little grainy. I can see you, but it's just a little grainy. It's not like bad, but it's a little grainy.
Better?
But I can hear you very well and stuff.
Nope. Is that better or no?
That's a little better. But it's not bad, but it's clear for 90% of it is clear.
Okay. I think it's just the Wi-Fi. I'm in Ohio at my mom's house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. The Wi-Fi is very ghetto. So I just had to tell everybody, I need everybody to get off the Wi-Fi.
Yes. And you know what? That's why we love you. Because, we love you. We rocks with you. Before we even get into it, let me introduce you to the ladies and to the people. They probably already know who you are, but I want to let them know officially, okay? So, and I hope I don't mess up your middle name. Sarah?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's it.
Yes. Listen, I know about names, okay? Because I've been called everything but Shonda my entire life. That's all the story. So here we go. Ashley 𝘆𝗶𝗲 Chea is a mother of 3 beautiful little girls. Oh, they're so cute. A wife and the owner and creator of the Beautiful Me campaign. The campaign focuses on the empowerment and love for self and others, utilizing art, speaking engagements, and docuseries. She is also a co-founder of Moms in Color, an organization that creates content and events to discuss issues Black mothers and women face daily. She is also the author of a children's book series focused on diversity, with its first installation out titled Beautiful, Beautiful Me. She self-published her book with famed illustrator Vanessa Newton, and 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 her life and company slogan, we are born to create, love, and empower. So everyone clap it up, chop it up, clap it up in the chat for Ashley. Yay! Oh.
Wait, question. So I need you to be on like grainy watch. So like if it goes in and out, tell me. So I'm just gonna keep switching from Wi-Fi to no Wi-Fi. See whatever works best.
Right now, it's clear as day.
Let's go with it.
Yes. So
I'm using all my data.
Right. Listen, we was out of Wi-Fi we had really bad storms in Georgia the other week, and we were out of Wi-Fi from Thursday to like Tuesday. It was cray. Yeah, it was crazy.
Don't you feel like you're like, but the thing is so this is our house that we purchased when my husband graduated from college. Yes. Well, I like to say he purchased this house and then I moved in, but it's ours now.
Right. Okay.
No, but it's like 3 stories. It's like a brownstone. So the Wi-Fi is all the way in the basement. They don't have basements in a lot of places. They have basements in Ohio. So it's all the way in the basement. So it's literally like 4 stories. So it's just not, it ain't hitting.
Well, you're doing great now. And I love that because I remember reading how you and your husband still kept the house in Ohio. Like you went back and voted in Ohio. Like I love that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go find some property home in Lexington and do something with my life.
Girl. Okay. Well, no, but we moved my mom into the house, which is great. So I still pay the mortgage, and then my business is here. So like my LLC is here. So I pay business taxes here, property taxes. So it's like, why would I vote in California? I mean, my vote doesn't even matter there. It's going to be Democratic. And then equally, like I'm here a lot. Like we literally live bi-coastally. So it doesn't make sense to vote in Cali. That's a wasted vote.
Yes. I love that.
Unless it's like somebody absolutely crazy running from office, it's going to be blue regardless.
Right. Okay. Yes. So first of all, how are you doing? How have you been doing with like quarantine? And I know you talk a lot about like mommy guilt and not feeling that guilt, but like embracing whether you're with them or not. But how are you like, dealing with quarantine with the kids at home learning, but then like also finding time with your hubby? How's that been going for you?
So, I've always homeschooled my daughter. So it wasn't something new for me at all, but it is different homeschooling during quarantine because nothing's open. So I'm used to being able to take her to museums and just do different fun stuff to kind of break up the monotony. This is not normal what anyone is experiencing. It's like being at home all day long with your kids and you can't even really go anywhere because, for a moment the parks were closed, and I personally still don't feel comfortable taking my kids to like a public park just because before COVID ever happened, people's kids was nasty and they were like bringing them to the park with their noses running. It's like, why does your child have like H1N1 and you brought them to the park? I don't get it. And I don't have this spirit of holding it in. So like I'm definitely will walk up to somebody like, your kid's nose is you want to blow little Timmy's nose because he's just wiping it all over the swing. So it's definitely like changed the vibe of homeschooling, but we're getting through it. That's why when we came to Ohio for 4 months, we did the whole like quarantine here pretty much. My mom is here. There's a backyard. So it was really like, I hate to say nice, but it was nice because me and my husband would go on dates in the car, hey! Go to the garage. So it was really fun. Like it really actually like zhuzhed up our like marriage because we were like little kids, like trying to sneak, like, let's go to the basement, let's go in the garage, let's go to the car, like go to the park and get like, seriously. So it was great. It just turned it, we've been together for 12 years. So it's fun to like, when you have a house and you live together, sometimes like you have a designated space, especially when you have kids, you can't just like begin it in anywhere. But quarantine was hitting. Okay.
Hey. Somebody said, I expect nothing less from Ashley. And guess what? We're here for all of it, okay? We keep it 100 on Wives Wind Down. Thank you. Yes, listen, I'm here for all of it.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. If you hear like random police sirens and stuff, we live in a black neighborhood. Yes. Okay, it's a historically black neighborhood, but girl, it's a black neighborhood. It's like they're trying to gentrify it, but it's like on one side and not the other, so you might hear some gunshot. No, I'm kidding. Don't be alarmed.
Y'all start praying now.
You hear a helicopter? No, I'm kidding.
I can't. Oh my gosh, I'm weak already. Okay.
Wait, what are you drinking? Are you drinking? Are you having wine?
Yes, every week.
I don't drink wine. I don't even really drink. But
I don't either, Ashley, really, to be honest. But
have you ever had this?
No, what is it?
Girl, do you like margaritas? It's not for you. But all my people that love margaritas,
tell them.
It's called 𝗄𝗵𝗃𝗃.
𝗄𝗵𝗃𝗃.
Baby.
Listen, I encourage them to, whatever, somebody brought a Capri Sun in a wine glass one night. So whatever you get, yes, there it is. Pour it up.
A Capri Sun?
That's, everybody has their thing. But
Drake.
yes,
No,
we definitely going to toast it up towards the end. But yes, I always have my glass ready.
Okay. Well, this 𝗄𝗵𝗃𝗃, my homegirl Tiffany put me on.
Oh yeah.
It is a margarita in a bottle. And
yes, drink it up, girl. So
Sweet
listen,
Jesus.
I want to talk about you and Chea in a little bit, but I want to go all the way back just a little bit. You have, as I was researching and gathering information for tonight, there was just so much about you. Obviously, we got to like connect in person at the Black Love Summit, you and your husband and me and Eric, and it was just so wonderful. But I'm like, there's so much. I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so much I want to talk to her about.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just so inspired by you. You're just a whole vibe anyway, which I know a lot of people would agree with that. Like both of y'all are just a whole vibe. And so first of all, just thank you for saying yes. But I want to go all the way back. I read this quote that really resonated with me. It said, when I was a little girl, I dreamt of dancing in the ballet on Broadway, traveling the world as a writer, and creating and directing movies. I never thought about getting married or having children of my own, but this blessing didn't go unnoticed to either of us. So we abandoned all other ideas and committed to raising her, talking about your first daughter, together. And I thought this was such a real and profound statement that speaks to the reality of how, like, sometimes, we have to forego our previous dreams or our aspirations, but we're able to still like dream a new dream, and God will still plant something else within us that's like a part of our purpose. And so I wanted to, I know like now it's probably making more sense now, and you probably see like, oh, I see what you were doing with that. Right. But at the time, was that challenging for you to accept, like initially knowing that you had to abandon one dream for another one?
You know what? For me, it's weird. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, I find joy in the journey, right? So for me, pursuing my ballet career was the joy. It wasn't even about me possibly being like dancing for 𝗿𝗏, because that was my dream, right? But for me, it was the fact that I lived in New York and I was trying to do it, and that I was teaching dance and I was making great money. Like, I got this great job teaching dance at the school, and I just felt so like complete and joyful that I was in the process of my dream coming true. Like, I grew up in the inner city, and it was a single mom. Like, my dad is a part of my life, but my mom raised me primarily. And to go from taking I don't know what they're called in other cities, but ours was called the CODA bus, Columbus, Ohio Transit Authority or something. They all something like that, but yeah. I was on the CODA. It's always a something. Yeah. So I used to have to take the CODA bus to work, and I had 2 jobs in high school, and I always worked to pretty much get whatever I wanted, because my mom was a paramedic. And then she decided to homeschool us. And so she definitely has always been an entrepreneur and had many careers and jobs. And that's what I learned, that skill from her, because she was making waist beads before it was a thing, and she cooks. So like, we used to go to Kwanzaa every year, which is like a big celebration in Ohio. They had it at the Afrocentric school. So my mom would like sell fish sandwiches and like soups. And she homeschooled almost everybody in our community's kids. And she was like braiding people's hair. So but with that comes, we know, like, sometimes that doesn't always bring in like the most money, you know? So we lived a good life as far as like, I never went hungry, but I still lived in the hood, you know what I mean? Like, but I was never hungry or anything like that. It's just that we had all our necessities. But if I wanted some Jordans or something, like, I was going to have to get a job to get those things, you know? And so, Chea, hold on, I'm so sorry. Like, right? Really? Your phone and you knew I was doing this?
It's okay.
It's not.
I see y'all. Somebody said my husband loves margaritas. I'll have to check that out. Yes, united me. Listen, this is the married life, y'all. This is the married life.
It's gonna get it. It's you walked right past it.
It's okay.
As I was saying. Well, there goes his midnight treat. No, but
it's totally okay.
No, it's fine. It's his work phone. He needs it anyways, and he's gonna be like, "Who stole my work phone?"
Right.
Like, it's down here. But no, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, dreams deferred. Anyway, because of all of that, I just feel like when I was like living in New York, I felt really joyful to just be able to experience that, you know? Right. So when I had Amira, like, I was sad that, like, oh man, I have to move from New York. Cause I wasn't trying to move. Like, I was 6 months pregnant when I moved back to Ohio. Cause Chea kept saying, like, I need you to come here. Like, I want to live together. I want to try to raise a baby together. And I was like, but we don't really have to do that. Like, you can totally be like an absentee father. Like, that's not even, it's totally fine. But I didn't grow up with my parents together. So I never really grew up with like the idea of marriage and being together. It wasn't like important to me. But I felt a sense of peace. Like, when I had her, I don't know. It's just, I've always known. I read The Alchemist. Have you ever read that book? Mm-hmm. It's so good. I read it like every 6 years because I feel like I get something different out of it every time. And I read that. And so the biggest lesson that I learned is like, your purpose is your purpose. Do you know what I mean? And so many things will happen that you feel like are taking you away from your purpose, but they're leading you towards it. And so I think that I leaned into that knowing, like, okay, my sister had died a year before I had my daughter. Didn't think I was going to be able to have children. I had her. My sister's birthday is 12/3. My daughter's birthday is 3/12. And so I know it was like, I don't know. It was when I had her, I felt there was a divine point and reason for me to have the baby, and that something was going to come of my life that was going to bring me more meaning than what I thought that I wanted. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. And that's why I wanted you to share that, because so often, like you were saying, a lot of times we think that whatever is happening is leading us away from our purpose, when in actuality, it's all like coming together for the purpose. So I just wanted to start there, because especially because, you know, you have a lot of followers and people see you and they're like, I love Ashley, I love, and it's like, I love the success stories, but I always like, I'm like, I want to hear about the no's too. I want to hear about the struggle with that got you there, like how you was feeling, because we're not always feeling like bubbly, and we don't always know our purpose. But
no, girl, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm never bubbly. I stay like this. Stay in a permanent state of dissatisfied.
You said I stay like this. You know what? I am done. Somebody said, so insightful, what a blessing. And Tasha said, woo, that's good. Listen, and we just getting started. So let's talk about you and Chea. Obviously, both of you come from two different cultures, two different neighborhoods. I read how like your neighborhood was completely different from his. Two different experience, but I loved how in Black Love, this was like one of my favorite lines. Listen, y'all have been one of my favorites. Now listen, this last season was one of my favorite seasons, but y'all have been one of my favorite couples like since it started, because I've been there since day one. I'm like, when they didn't have no followers, nothing, I'm like, what we doing? But you admitted that you couldn't pass up this good soul because it wasn't packaged the way you thought it would be. So what type of preconceived notions or assumptions did you have to release in order to like accept and embrace that love that you knew that you and Chea shared?
Right. So first, the girl asked me about the book. It's The Alchemist. The Alchemist. So I just want to answer her before we get lost in translation.
Oh yes, absolutely. Y'all type Any questions y'all have, feel free to shoot them.
But I'm only gonna answer them when I see them because I have like a little ADHD.
I got you.
So.
I got you. I would have seen it if I wasn't reading.
What did you just ask me? Oh, the
about
preconceived
like
notions that I had to get over. Yes. I mean, honestly, like I said, I grew up in a very like pro-Black neighborhood. My mom and her friends created a really amazing environment to grow up in. So even though a lot of us lived in the inner city, it was really like a Black utopia. You know what I mean? It was like Atlanta before Atlanta was Atlanta. But they had the whole street. Like they had a Black bookstore. It was called Each One Teach One. They had a center where they had classes and we would learn, and like Kwanzaa was a big deal. Like you learned about the 7 principles and you really implemented those in your home. And we had sessions, and then they had the Nia Academy where they purchased a home in this area that's called like Franklin Park area. And my mom and my Aunt Kimba and their other friend, she like they had classes there. So they would all homeschool together and meet up different days to teach different subjects, and they held community classes. So I just grew up like really loving being Black. Do you know what I mean? And feeling very empowered by my Blackness, and being very cognizant and aware of racism and systemic racism and all of these things, but how they didn't define who I was. And my mom was making me memorize like speeches by 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗿𝗏 and like everybody else by the time I was 5. So, you know, 𝗪𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗄. And that for me, I have like a great sense of Black pride. You know what I mean? And I love Black couples, and I feel like a serious chemical reaction when I see Black men and Black women together. And even though I'm in an interracial relationship, it doesn't matter. It doesn't compare. Because I don't care what anybody says, if they're offended by it. I feel like Black women and Black men being together is a divine thing. And I feel like there is some kind of like spiritual divinity that comes from that love, which is why so many people try to attack it since the beginning of time to keep it apart.
Yes.
You know,
that's what I say. I'm like, that's why the devil comes so hard for us. Like,
I believe it. I really believe it. So for me, I wanted that. I wanted to have little dark brown babies, and I wanted them to look like me and have my skin complexion. And like, I just dreamed of my little babies and my dark skinned husband. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, just that is so beautiful to me. And there's beauty in all relationships and couples. But like for me, as a little girl, I dreamed of Black men and women together. And that's why, I mean, I like The Princess and well, I don't like that movie, but I was super mad that her prince wasn't brown skin.
I know.
Like,
they let us down.
Like, it's great for Amira, but the little girl in me was like, I want to see that.
Exactly.
Like, that's not the first Black princess. Like, can't we see her be loved by a Black man? Because they don't never want to show us together. They will put a Black man and a white woman for diversity in a magazine ad, a Black woman and a white man, but they just will not. They don't never want to put Black men with Black women. And I feel like there's so much attention put to that. There has to be a reason. Do you know what I mean? So I had to get over all of that, because even though I met Chea, like, he's amazing. He was one of my best friends and we had great conversation. It wasn't even in my mind that he could be my partner. Because I'm like, I need the Black version of you. Like, where he at? And I said that to him too.
Oh, I know you did. I'm like, listen, if y'all don't know, like, she's made that very clear. He knows.
Yeah.
Like, no,
but it's no shade. I mean, like, that's why I don't have a problem with like other cultures when they want their kids to marry their culture. Like, if you have pride and you love your culture, you find that beautiful for you. You're like, not don't taint the water, but it's more like you want to continue to see that. And it's not in an oppressive, it doesn't have to be in an oppressive way. It could be in a beautiful way of like, I like other people, but like, I want to continue to grow. And there's beauty in mixtures, and there's beauty in solid things. Like, and we have to have space for all of that. Do you know what I mean? But I had to really figure out, did I want to pass up this person who was right in front of me, who checked off all the boxes for the potential Black version of him? Or, you know, I mean, that's it. Like, either I'm going to pick it right here, or I'm going to wait and see. And wait and see is fine. But let me tell you something. Being a Black woman, you go where you're celebrated, okay? So if you find a black man that loves you, then you marry him. You find a white man that loves you, you marry him. Because black women are so mistreated and we're just disregarded that, like, I felt like I had this loyalty to black men that was not given to me. And that's not why I chose my husband. What I mean is that in that moment, I felt like I'm just going to choose myself. It makes me happy. Like, it's not going to unblackify me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
like I always say, you don't have to chase what wants you. Period.
Yes.
Like,
and I didn't. And that's the thing. Like, the only thing I don't like is if people put it out there like, oh, I chose this person because black men were mistreating me. Listen, a white man will cheat on you too, girl, because we done seen it. They the faithfuls, okay? It is the man.
Like, some of them will kill you. Y'all watch Unsolved Mysteries?
And 𝗄𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗏. That's what I told my husband. Like, I told all my friends, if we go on a vacation and he says I drown, he killed me because I can swim. Okay,
and
you know, that's their they take you on a good vacation and they come back alone.
Yes.
I don't know. We were swimming with the dolphins and she just slipped under. Like, this is not a Lifetime movie.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, but seriously, I just feel like if it's another woman, if it's a white man, if it's a black man, like, you need to be with whom fills your soul and who really makes you happy and feel celebrated by it. And that's it. Because at first, for me, the biggest thing was like being in an interracial relationship and us not, if we don't have the same values, and then understanding my blackness. But what have we learned? That black people we're not a monolithic group of people. So
my husband says that all the time.
You can be with a black man who's not woke, and that is worse. My friend, is worse. So, like, just because we both black does not mean we were raised the same, and we have the same values, understanding, appreciation for our culture, our people. And I tell you what I won't do. I will not be with somebody black that don't love black people. Now that I can't do.
You said a word, okay? And the period.
Okay.
I know you said before that you don't want to be the poster child for interracial relationships because it's not easy. So
unless they're cutting a check. No, unless somebody's cutting the check.
You know what? I can't stand you.
What the check look like? I'll be on that poster.
Right.
Love ya.
Right. Love it. But aside from like the normal relationship growing pains and stuff, what would you say that not easy? What has been most challenging? I know obviously in the beginning it was challenging with the family dynamics, but you know, what's been, you know, when you say like it's not easy, obviously we know any relationship isn't easy, but I can imagine in a racial relationship there's another layer of challenges that you all have to go through.
Yeah. I mean, just to be candid with you right now, the election has been, I don't want to say devastating, but it has put a wrench in our plan of harmony. Because we've been together for 12 years and it's been a long journey. You know what I mean? It definitely depended with dealing with his family and just different issues and them accepting me. And we actually like finally got to a good place like the past couple of years and everyone's pretty much getting along. We go over there and we have a good kiki. We go home. I'm sure they talk shit about me, but not to my face anymore. And the election has it has torn us apart. And it really was because I'm never going to not speak my truth. Do you know what I mean? And if that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. But this is the thing. I understand because, you know, I was a psychiatrist in my past life. I don't know if you know that about me, but
no.
I was, girl. And all my lives, I think. You can just call me Dr. Ashley.
Okay.
Dr.
Ashley.
I kind of have I'm like the hood psychiatrist. I'm like the hood Oprah. Oprah. But
Oprah.
No. Oprah, just call me Oprah. But no, seriously, that is a gift of mine. Like, you know how sometimes people tell you not to talk about things about yourself, but that is a gift of mine. I have the gift of like foresight and emotional intelligence. I have a deep, deep emotional intelligence. So I'm very capable of like understanding all aspects of a situation and being very like diplomatic about something so I can still honor my feelings, but be very clear on what's happening around me. Yeah. And I always try to use that when I'm dealing with people. But what I've discovered too is that with this election, people that have voted for Trump there's a disconnect. Do you know what I mean? And so if you're white, you are dealing with an inherent racism that you haven't acknowledged yet. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, you haven't gotten. So we're not even. It's not even about us being in the same book, baby girl. We're not in the same class.
Yeah.
This is like 5 years education behind.
Yeah.
Because if you're not acknowledging systemic racism, you're not acknowledging white privilege. He's half Cambodian and half white.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt you, but yes.
It's okay, girl, because they was going to argue about it now. I'll just tell them. We can move on.
Look, Vietnamese.
Listen, he actually does have, he got his 23andMe test. He does have some Vietnamese in him. But
okay.
But, I mean, he's Cambodian and white. But this is dealing with actually his white side. So, like, his Asian side, they all voted correctly, I should say. And so the entire white side did not. And so when I put on Facebook, like, I'm not talking to anybody that voted for Trump, you know, like, you need to deal with your racism. They were all very deeply offended by that. And I feel bad for them, but then I don't, because I just can't right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, you understand what I'm saying. And there's some people who are like, no, that the election is over. We need to come to, no, fuck that shit. Like, no, we do not. That is the problem. Like, when people do not hold people account, that is abusive. And that I've also come to realize that so many people exist in psychologically abusive relationships that they declare unhealthy behaviors as like coming together, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when he was president. I was like, why are all these people I respect being like, give him a chance? Like, no. Had everyone stood up and said, this is not okay. He should not have been elected. We need to figure this out, but this is not going to work. He would have never been the president. But
never.
Like, this unhealthy mindset of titles and all this other stuff, like, and then we're just going to make it be okay. Mm-hmm. No. So I don't care if you're my mother-in-law, if you're my mom, if you're my dad, if you're my sister, if you're my brother. When you are doing something that is contributing to the destruction and the demise of others, I'm not down with it. And everyone in my family understands that. And I think they're taking it personal. Like, but no, like, I treat my family the same way. If you're down with some BS that's harmful to others, I'm not rocking with you. Exactly. I will literally stop talking to my own parents if I have to, mm-hmm. because I have to deal with my own spiritual conscience. And right. For me, I'm not about to go to hell because I was kicking it with you demons. Like,
exactly.
That's not going to be on my list. I got my own shit I got to atone for. I'm about to deal with y'all.
You have your own family unit, even with
no, I mean, I have children. My own sins. I don't want nobody else's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be the best version of me. So that's really hard right now for them. And that's been hard, not so much for our marriage, but I'm trying to be very respectful and like honor my husband's journey, because a lot of my friends are like, you just need to tell him to stop talking to them. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because my parents are alive, but my sister passed away, and I know what it's like to lose someone that you love. Mm-hmm. I don't want something to happen to his parents and he makes a decision based on me. He's going to have resentment towards me. Exactly. So I want him to go through this journey based on what's in his heart and what he feels best about. And he respects it. Like, I'm just like, I'm not engaging. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be over there. I can't. That's not something that's for me. But if he wants to go over there, I would never be mad at him. Those are his, that's his family. You should.
I think that's a good point. Whether interracial dating, interracial relationship or not, like, it's a good point about creating boundaries for yourself. Right. And understanding that it's okay. You can still, I'm sure you still love them. Guess what? Love you, but I have a boundary, and I can say for myself that this is too much, or that, like you said, I'm not gonna kick it with those demons, like somebody said. I'm not going to kick it with you demons.
Put that on a t-shirt.
They want you to put it on a t-shirt, but you have every right to create those boundaries, even when it comes to family. So I think that's encouraging for especially other wives. Like I said, whether you're in an interracial relationship or not, like, sometimes you have to create those boundaries in your relationship, in your marriage, because what you don't want to do is to spill over into your marriage. Because, like, then it's like it's already there, but making sure that y'all are tight Like,
But you
that's
know what you said about love too, though, and it's not a harsh thing. For me, love is an evolution. It's encompassing of respect
yes,
and respect.
yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not about I don't love them, but for
Oh yeah,
me, it is. But it is about that too, though. Like it's like I care for your existence, and I care about you
right.
being here, and I want you to be on this earth, and
Mhm.
that's important to me. But love, you have to earn that. And that's not deserving of everyone. And you don't automatically get my love because you're related to someone that I love. And that's fine if they feel that way about me too. That's totally fine. Like I'm okay with people living in their honesty. But it's hard to really deeply love someone when you feel like,
They don't love you.
yeah, but then yes, exactly. But then my conscious mind is like, it's an ignorance. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? And so
Yep.
you have to be part of, and this is what I tell my daughter, this is what I tell people all the time, part of being blessed with anything, right? If it's more money, if it's more intellect, if it's more understanding, comes the responsibility of humility, right? And so with that, you cannot, you have, if you know that why someone's doing something is from a lack of understanding,
Yeah.
you have
You
to
have to.
have a level of grace with them.
Yep.
So I don't hate them. I just don't, I can't engage
Yeah.
because we're not, there's no point in even having conversations. Like I'll let my husband deal with that, but I cannot
Yes.
try to explain to you what racism is. Like I just don't have, I can't do that today. Not in 2020.
Not today. Not today. Yes.
Or
Somebody said
tomorrow.
snap, snap. Right. Or tomorrow.
But someone did ask me, they said, do I let my kids go?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
interesting that you say that because that has been something that I've always been like, of course, the kids are like not a part of this, but my oldest is 11. She went to Black Lives Matter marches. She's very conscious and she ain't with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad, but I'm like, y'all, she's Black. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like your granddaughter's Black.
Yeah, right. She's Black. In case you
And she has me as a mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, she ain't with it either. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's for her, she's 11 and fully consciously aware of like what certain things mean and how that affects. And like, she's taking pause, like, but they did what? They voted for who? Like that really, she cried. She was really like deeply hurt by that. And that there's just a disconnect. So it's a journey, you know. What do people say? Pray for us. I'm just giving you pray for us.
Right. Well, it's just honest and it's real. And I appreciate you even being that transparent and open because that's what we're here for. That's what this outlet is for, so that people can understand like this is real deal stuff that you have to go through sometimes in a marriage. And every marriage has its challenges. So this happens to be yours. We have our challenges. And so it just speaks to that and lets women know like it's okay. Y'all still loving each other. Y'all still pushing through it and getting through it, but you will have your challenges. So
For sure.
I love that. So you two, oh no, what I wanted to ask, you talk about communication. So y'all have been together for 12 years, married for 5. And you mentioned before it was a post about like cheating and why people cheat, but then you also mentioned how you feel like you and Chea work so well together because of the fact that you communicate what you like and don't like. And I want to help paint the picture for other wives out there because a lot of times we say we're doing the work, we did the work, and people are like, well, what's the work look like? What's that mean? I'm like, well, if we weren't telling y'all, y'all be like, why didn't anybody tell me about marriage? So I want to help paint the picture of like, what does that look like in terms of like your conversations? Like, are you all having daily check-ins? Is it pillow talk? Are you guys like scheduling time, or are you just keeping it real whenever like, listen, I don't care if the game is on, we need to talk. Like, what does that look like for you all in terms of communication? Because I know so many couples who struggle with that, but you guys seem to be doing it, pretty good at it, I imagine.
No, we are. So I think how you come together plays a huge role in that, right? So me and him were friends for 4 years prior to us ever dating. I think that played a huge role in the dynamic of our relationship, because we started off completely raw, like how you are with your homegirls, right? Like they get to see the real deal, all of it. And that's how we were. Like We talked every day at work. I tried to hook him up with people and help him with his relationship problems. And he would tell me about his little endeavors. So like, we were already communication wise, like right here. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's every day. It's everything, and everything that we do, the communication is there. There's never been like a designated time or like, okay, I know this is when I can get him comfortable and I can bring up X, Y, and Z. Girl, we could be driving down the street and I could be like, how do you feel about nipple clamps? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
and he's like, haven't thought about that lately.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Like, it's just so open and free. It's always been that way. And I think that it's hard if you don't start your relationship off that way. So obviously, if you're single and you're watching this, you want to go on dates and stuff and be your most authentic self. Like, you don't want to be a different version of you, because then you have to stay that way in order to maintain the way, you know, girl, like, for someone to like you, then you have to be, because that's what happened. I've only been in 2 relationships, you know what I mean? Like, one for 8 years and then my marriage. And the other relationship failed, I think, because I presented myself one way. And as I grew, instead of being vocal about things that I liked and didn't like, I just had this mindset of like, I wanted to be perfect and do everything that he liked. Even in bed, it was more about just kind of like, I felt like a rag doll, more like, you know, just they switch you and move you and get on top of and you just do what feels good to them, and you're not really acknowledging like your own wants and needs. After that relationship ended, when my sister passed away, I was just like, I can never do that again. Like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life, sorry, I have this eyelash that is like trying to get out of my eye. I don't want to spend the rest of my life just doing things for other people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my vagina is for me, and I should feel good, and it should feel good, and I should not ever have sex without having an orgasm. I feel like that's so disrespectful. So when me and my boy, it is so rude.
Right.
So
rude.
Rude. So when me and my husband got together, I was like, you know, the first time I was like, I don't know that and so I just told him, like, that's what we're going to do, this different. And then, what do you like? Not just about me, but like, what do you like? And what feels good to you? And like that type of thing. And from day one, I just set it up like that. And I think women were so timid because we have been taught that we are here to please men, and that yes, girl, just bark like a dog.
Yeah. Whatever it is you like.
Whatever you like. And it can be whatever you like. And it's going to be whatever I like. And it'll be what we like. But the thing is, if my husband, I could call him down here, he would tell you, like, me being pleased, it feels better for both of us. Like, when both people are into it and you know you're just like honoring each other, like, that is so amazing. And I just think a lot of men don't realize that. Like, you want your girl to feel good and to feel empowered and like to get hers. It will be so much better in bed for everybody. So you just have to communicate that. That has to be open from jump. And if you haven't started that way, you can get it that way. You might have to go to a therapist and help you, you know, like, work through that. But if you're in a marriage or in a relationship or anything and you're not feeling honored, but here's the thing. If you're scared to tell your truth, that may be a sign you're with the wrong person.
Come on, say it one more time.
If you are scared to tell your truth, it may be a sign you're with the wrong person, because that is your conscience, which to me is God, who lives in all of us, telling you this is not the person for you, because you have to lie to keep them. You gotta let it go.
That's a word right there. Listen. Okay, so we got like 15 minutes left, but I want to get this one more question before we move to the rapid fire fun round. Someone earlier asked a question. Hey, Melanated Beauty. She said, after being together for 7 years, were you feeling the pressure from others to get married? Which is a cousin to the question that I wanted to ask about. Because on your blog, you talked about modern motherhood and why you stopped following the rules. And so I feel like that applies to other areas in your life as well, I'm sure, like, especially when it comes to marriage. So, like, are there other rules that, like, you refuse to adhere to when it comes to, like, being married? And obviously, like, you guys were together for 7 years, so obviously you're like, I don't care about y'all's rules, but like, are there other rules that you know, are like, that ain't for us over in our household?
You know what? See, that's the thing. Like, I don't have any rules about rules. Do you know? I feel like we do what is authentic to our life. Yeah. And also, let's be clear, growth is a necessity. So there's growth within me. I had to really do some soul searching of why don't I want to get married? Why am I so anti? Why do I care? Am I saying that because I think he won't propose and I'm just trying to like pretend like I don't care? Do I really? And that was a real thing, because I actually had to go through that journey where I was like, I think I do want to get married. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I'm not the conscious modern woman that I thought I was. Like, and there's nothing, but I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, even all of this is fake. And so I'm really just about like asking yourself, why do you believe what you believe? Whether it's, you know, from church, from not from church, from the mosque, whatever, like, why do you believe what you believe? And do you really believe it? Like, say it out loud 5 times and look at it on paper and really say, like, is this who I am? Because a lot of us, our beliefs they come from our families, and they've kind of been like either intentionally instilled in us or subconsciously instilled in us. You know what I mean? It's like I said, what my dad and mom weren't married. They're best friends. They raised me. They have a great relationship. So I think subconsciously, I never felt like I had to be married to have a healthy relationship or a baby, because I was always like, I'm gonna have a baby with my best friend, because my mom and dad, I've never seen them argue. They literally are like, but that's because they're not together, girl. Right. They are literally
They're like, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay.
Bye. See ya. Okay, go back home to your wife. That was fun. Okay, bye. Like, So I think that like that is something that was a journey that I had to go through, where I had to really decide why I was saying that. Also, was I projecting that on my husband? Like, okay, maybe he wanted to get married, and I keep saying I don't want to get married. So he's like, well, shit, I guess I don't gotta propose to her. You know what I mean? And I had to tell him, like, you know what, I think I do want to get married, but there's no rush. Like, whenever you know, feel it in your spirit, let's do it. But like, it doesn't have to be like a big shebang, you know. But I always, because I already felt like I didn't like when we got married and people were like, no, you're a family. Like, that's what I didn't like. And that's what I wanted to avoid, that people felt like my relationship was now validated by a piece of paper. Like, God was already in my home. Okay. We were already praying and worshiping and honoring God. Just because I did not go downtown and let the government know my business does not mean that that God was not in our home. Because some people get married by preachers who cheating on their wives anyways. Like, that to me is irrelevant. These other humans, listen, I wish I could have recorded that and turned that into a meme. I would send that off. I love your lipstick. It's so pretty.
You know, thank you, girl. I was just thinking today, it's someone I'll talk about. I was thinking that today. I'm so glad you said that, because, you know, there was another scandal with a preacher, and I'm church, grew up in church. I done seen it all. But I love Jesus more than my spirituality matters more than religion. But I just wish some of these pastors would be as passionate about adultery as they are about women be pure and you need to be pure and save yourself.
Because that's sexist, but we could come back together. You want to have
Yes, that's a part 2.
I'm always here for you, sis. We can have many lives. We can have many lives together.
That's a whole nother. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that you.
But that is why, and that's what when I say, like, my mom instilled this deep level of consciousness in me. So like, for me, I really believe in God. Not believe in God like people believe in God. I really believe in God. And when I say I believe in God, I really understand this higher power, this existence that is not in the form of us. It is beyond us. It is beyond our understanding. This is a whole universe out here. There's many planets. We don't know what God has created. We don't know how big this world is. And so I also feel like it is so narcissistic to encompass God in such a small-minded way. And so when people try to hold God and manipulate people with it through religion, because I grew up Muslim and Christian, I'm not with it. Like, you can't, you cannot use that against me. That's why I get mad at people when they're like, oh, I'm Republican because I'm pro-life. I'm like, nigga, you live with your boyfriend. Y'all have sex, you're not even married. Don't go away. Like, I don't want to hear none of that, because you are like doing 15 other sins. Don't be worried about somebody. leave their abortion alone, okay? Like,
Or
let's
you're
talk
more
about the
worried
fact
about a fetus than a black life.
Okay.
Goodbye.
But even that, it's just like when people try to use it and say, like, you know, I'm a Christian. Well, you need to start being more Christ-like and stop being so Christian, okay? Because there's a difference. So that is the thing. Like, people can't make me feel bad about, they didn't make me feel bad about my union. It was just actually offensive to me when people were like, well, you should get married. I'm like, but your husband isn't even a good husband. Leave my boyfriend alone.
And it's not, it's Tabitha said this, it was something similar. I can't quote it, but just like you said, not making other people feel like that your relation, like if you fornicate before you get married or you slip up, whatever, like it doesn't mean God cannot bless your union and your family. Like you said, you are already a family. It's like,
if I'm gonna go to hell, it's not gonna be because I fornicated. It's gonna be for all the shady shit that I've said in my lifetime. Okay? I know why my ass is going to hell if I go to hell, and it will not be for fornication.
I cannot.
Trust and believe that is number 10 on the most effed up things that I have said that have been not appropriate at inappropriate times. Probably and laughing at funerals, right, girl? I have so many other things that I need to work on by myself. That ain't it. But no, but seriously, what you said is so true though. Like, you know, just knowing yourself and knowing what's best for you and your family. Mm-hmm. I think that's the number one thing. People are projectors like a mother. Yes. So they are always trying to project their stuff on you. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be like, go over Amanda Seales. It was Amanda Seales. She was like, don't you hate when you're talking to somebody and you realize you're talking to their trauma? And I was like, ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's a good one.
That girl, when she said that, I was like, that is it. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what it is at all times. Like, you have to have discernment, and you have to have it, especially if you're going to live outside the societal norm. You have to understand when people are saying things to you that that is not a part of you. That is not a part of your ministry. That is not a part of your purpose. That is their trauma that they're projecting on you. And often people get offended when you find joy living in an alternative way when they are unhappy living in a prescribed way that they've prescribed to. Okay.
On that note,
I told you I was a doctor.
Dr. Ashley. Okay, we have 8 minutes left. Listen, you have brought and killed it. Somebody said noted, OMG, dropping gem. Yes, she is. A whole word. I see you, Renita. It's Elements and She said, woo, yeah, come on. Okay, so real quick, I want to ask you, this is our fun part. I call it the rapid fire round. I'm just going to ask some quick, wonderful, fun questions, a little kinky. And I just want to know what your answers are. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay. If and when he leaves the toilet, and make sure y'all drop y'all's comments in the chat as y'all always do. If and when he leaves the toilet seat up, does it bother you or no?
Oh no, I leave the toilet seat up. Well, what are you talking about? The top or the extra part?
The seat he has to lift up to, you know.
Oh, he doesn't leave it up.
Okay, come on, Chea.
Hey.
Who's more of the morning person, you or him?
Him. I'm a morning demon.
I don't even talk to me till after the shower.
Okay.
And still, I'm like, wait a minute. Who's more likely to want to cuddle, you or him?
Oh, him.
Oh.
I'm a Capricorn. We don't cuddle.
I'm a Capricorn. We don't cuddle.
He's a Libra. He's very.
I'm a Libra.
Well, then you know you guys are so balanced and loving, and you're just like almost like perfect people. But you guys are a little crazy. You're crazy.
Not perfect at all.
I said almost. Because your crazy is equal to your good. It just takes you a while to get there. Yes.
Yes, it takes us a while to get there. But when we go, we go.
Somebody going to end up chopped up in the wall.
Yes. But it does take us a while. It's like,
yep.
This is always a fan favorite. Toilet paper over or under?
Oh my God, I don't know, and I actually am the problem. I just put it on there, and my husband gets so mad at me, and I can't tell you which way. Oh, he wants it under. He wants it under.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants it under. I don't care, but he wants it under.
Somebody said Libras are freaks. You know what?
Yes, they are, girl. I said we
Good
was
to the back.
in the car. Y'all are.
I do love a good car. Okay, anyway, I digress.
Let's talk about more, girl. I got time. So no.
Who takes longer to get ready, you or him?
Him, and he gets up 5 hours before me, so I don't understand.
Same.
Last one ready every single time. You were up at 4 a.m.
4
Why
a.m.
are you brushing his little ponytail? Like, if you don't, come on.
Eric brushing his beard. Would you rather have a couple's day spa or Netflix and chill?
Oh. A couple's day spa, just because we're with our kids a lot. I feel like that's better. We need that because we Netflix and chill with our kids. So like,
right. Y'all be watching 𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗿𝗶 and stuff. You're like, this is so nice.
Well, I'm on my phone. Like, yes. Did you see that, mommy? Yes, it was so good.
Right. Singing the songs. Let it go. Oh, Lord. Who's more likely to leave a pile of clothes around?
Neither of us. We both have OCD.
Oh, yes. Home cooked meal or takeout?
Oh, home cooked. I hate other people's food.
Who cooks, you or him?
Me primarily, but he is a great sous chef. He will chop and dice everything for me. Yes, he's a good partner. We do things together because it gets done faster and we have more time together.
I love that. Would you rather, I think I already know your answer to this, but would you rather, option A, argue all the time but have great makeup sex, or B, never argue and have mediocre sex?
Oh, I want my life now. We don't really argue a lot. We have great sex.
Okay, well, look at there.
That's why we don't argue, girl.
Not the way. Who's usually the first to apologize?
I mean,
him.
Me.
I already know.
No. As a Libra, do you think you're wrong ever?
Yes.
You are lying. Let me talk to your husband. Where is he? I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, he's a Taurus, so he's very see? Exactly.
Never mind. I mean, honestly, I'm never wrong.
See? I knew it. I knew it was you. That is not the first to apologize.
I'm not wrong, though.
I knew it. And the last one, what's your favorite Black love movie of all time?
Oh, that is so easy. It is two. I cannot choose because I'm consistently going through them both. But Love Jones is like, and Brown Sugar. Yeah. I'm like a hip hop head. So
yes.
It just connected with me on a deeper, the whole like, yeah. And she was a writer and I'm a writer. So like, I don't know. Yeah, and I love a little messy drama, honey, because she sure was being messing with him when he was. I love when a little messy hoe get her man at the end. It was cute.
I cannot. You have created so many t-shirts tonight. I cannot. Okay.
Like, have you ever thought about how messy Brown Sugar was? Like, sis, he was a whole engagement and you sleeping with him? Honestly, and we was really rooting for her messy ass, though.
Yes. And when you think about it, a lot of the Black love movies, to be honest, a lot of them were really messy. Like,
look, Best Man, because that's another one of my favorites. But that
is my favorite.
And we really grew up thinking that was okay. Like, but he just slept with her to make her feel better. Like, as a kid, like, I want to have that love story.
Yeah.
I love Best Man.
Listen, to me, that's my person. Like, Love Jones and Brown Sugar are right. They're probably the top three, but the Best Man, like, I know in my heart.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. That probably should be number one. You're right, because I literally could watch Best Man, like, anytime that it comes on.
Anytime.
Okay,
so apparently there are Instagram updates, and apparently your live can go longer. I don't know. It might cut us off in a minute. It might not. It didn't give me the trigger. So we're going to hope that we can get this toast in within the next 5 and 10 minutes because apparently they have extended it. So FYI to all of y'all who are tuned in, apparently they have extended. Somebody somebody tagged me in the creators page today, and they said, so I didn't get a thing, but we're just gonna pray, and we're gonna pray that it saves, because I've only had one that hasn't saved. So
I was gonna ask you, are you gonna save this and post it to your?
Yes. Yes.
Can I save it, or only you because you started it?
Only me, because I started it.
Okay.
But I think, unless they've changed it, but I will, yeah, we're definitely going to go through all of that. But yes, I say that there was one week I had 𝗔𝗓𝗄𝗏 on, and it was incredible. And it was the same day we had those storms, knocked it out. So last week I was praying. I said, y'all pray that this one saves. So it was the only one I've done. This is the 19th episode. And
don't put that spirit on me. Watch it be mine. So you were like,
no, it won't. In the name of Jesus, it won't. Okay, so I just want to say, and it's 9 o'clock. It looks like it's still going. So I'm like, oh yay! But Ashley, I just want to thank you so much. Like, you have been incredible. It was everything and more. I probably laughed way more than I expected, and I love every bit of it. But most importantly, I just appreciate your transparency, and I know that the ladies was rocking with it. For those who tuned in live and those who are going to catch the replay, I know they're going to be so inspired and encouraged because of it. And so as we wrap the night, I want everyone to grab their glasses, whatever you're drinking tonight. Y'all know what time it is. And actually let them know whatever you want them to know as you close out, any encouraging words you may have. And also, what are you toasting to tonight?
Oh, I'm toasting to joy, to Black joy. And some Spanish joy, and some Native American joy. White joy is going to be last. Like, no.
I can't.
I'm joking, y'all. I'm just being stupid. No, seriously. But just let me stop joking around. I really am just toasting to joy. Joy for everybody, honestly. Like, I want everyone, all people and races, to find joy, because I feel like when people are happy and they have joy in their heart, then they are capable of loving more. They move from a space of peace and less anger. You know what else I'm gonna toast to? Understanding. That everyone develops a higher level of understanding, a deeper conscious awareness of others' feelings and emotions, because I think that is really what's missing in our world, and why we're having so much miscommunication and inability to be empathetic and understanding. So if more people had joy, they would exude more joy, and we would have a little less friction in the world.
Cheers to that. Cling, 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 cling. Eye contact, eye contact. Now tell everybody how they can follow you, anything you might have coming up. Let the people know.
So you can follow me at 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝘆cie__, my first and middle name. And I have a lot of things coming up. I'm pitching a TV show, and we've been working on it for like 3 years. And so just pray for whatever is supposed to happen that will happen, and that I stay ready so I don't have to get ready, and that these executives are able to see the value in the art that I have created. But I am so excited. Like, I just want the show to get picked up. I feel like it will really be something that people love. It's a love story. It's about family. And I just think that it's needed right now. Do you know what I mean? It's really going to address a lot of things that we're all going through, and be honest and authentic. And, if it's meant to be, it will be, but I feel like it is meant to be. So that's like my baby that I've been working on for like 3 years. We already pitched it to HBO, so we'll see what happens.
Excited.
I'm excited
so
too.
excited.
And then I have my second children's book coming out, and my prompted journal. And I'm thinking about maybe having another baby. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
I'm gonna be 36 in December. And
girl, I'm 39. Goodbye.
I know, but I'm grateful to be alive. Like, and I look good, so it don't matter. But I just think that I've been having babies for like the past 2-3 years. So I'm really have to think about it, because my kids are healthy. They're beautiful. They're amazing. I don't really necessarily need another child. It's more like a want. So I really have to simmer with that. But if I don't decide by March, then my husband's going to get a vasectomy. So.
Okay. Oh, well, listen, at least you know.
Yeah.
I'm 39, no kids yet. Yeah. I'm like, we're still going down that path. We'll see what happens. But
do you want to have children?
Yes. So, but I'm also like, you know what, Lord, it's the pandemic. I'm cool right now. Like, I'm cool right now.
Well, don't say that. This is what I tell my friend, because one of my friends, my male friends, he would always be like, I'm happy being single. I'm like, do you really mean that? And remember how I was saying, like, how about, like, not wanting to be married? I really do believe in the power of our words. And so I think sometimes we just try to be casual about stuff that we really want, which is why I didn't even tell people about my TV show. But I'm like, no, I'm going to keep saying it because it's a journey. And then when it happens, someone's going to be like, I remember when she was talking about that. So, like, if you want that baby, girl, speak that baby into your womb, into your home, and that baby will be there. So some way you will have that baby.
Yeah. I think I mean it though right now though. I do.
Girl.
But it's a journey. It's a journey.
Nigga, I feel you.
I'm excited for you and I'm praying for you. I know even though you're a Capricorn and I'm a Libra, we actually have a lot in common with the writing and the TV stuff. Yes. So I definitely am rooting for you because I'm on a similar path. So I'm excited for you.
For a TV show?
Yes. It's a long story. We'll talk offline. But but I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for your family. And I'm just so happy for the light that you shine. And if no one ever tells you, obviously you probably know, but you are bright, shining light. For so many people. Like I said, so many people were reaching out. It's like they were so excited about tonight. I was already excited, but to know that others were excited, and I just love how God has moved this whole platform, you know, because I'm like, okay, God, you just do. I'm just asking, and I'm very particular about who I ask. So I'm not just asking willy-nilly people.
Right.
I'm asking people who I know is going to be genuine and provide some type of wisdom and not like be extra judgy and all that stuff, but just be honest and real. And so I appreciate you for saying yes. And I appreciate
thank you for having me.
Yes. And somebody said, oh yes, they said, hey Cheryl. She said, yes, this made my day. Oh,
it made my day too. Listen, I love the one that you and Cody did, and I was so excited. Like, oh, I want to do it. Like I love your energy, and you truly are like, I don't know, it's weird because it's through the phone, but like you just exude like lots of love, and you're creating a space where people just feel comfortable. Like, I don't know, like I love talking to you. I will literally talk to you all the time. Like, you could do a live with me once a week. I'm like, girl, what you want to talk about this time?
Right.
Like, I don't know, you have a gift too, and I hope you understand that and value it. Like, it's not everybody thinks that they want to talk to people or have a show or something. Like, that's not for everybody. Like, and you can tell. Because somebody has a show right now, I'm not gonna name any names, but I was just watching like, this is dry. But that's not you. Like, you just have like a loving energy about you and make it really easy for people to talk to you. So I hope that you find joy and power in knowing that your gift is seen and that like we're receiving it. And I believe that there is more to come from you. So I hope you receive that.
Girl, don't have me crying now.
I love to make people cry.
No, that means a lot because for where I am right now compared to last year, mentally and spiritually, thank God I started going to therapy and stuff. But I was really trying to figure out, okay, what's next? Like, I've done this, I've done that, and people were telling me what to do. And then it's like one day God was like, just laid it on my heart. And I don't think I was in a space previously that I was ready to talk about marriage and stuff. You know how you feel like, I just want to get a little more experience or whatever.
Yep.
But then once this came in, everything you said confirmed like what I wanted this to be. So it means the world to me to hear that from you, because I know how much you mean to me personally and to so many people. So to hear that from you, it just confirms what I know God has called me to do. So I appreciate that so much.
Aww.
Yes.
Okay, we have to stop being emotional because that's not my favorite category.
Yes, Dr. Ashley.
Right, let me go see a doctor.
Right. Well, to everyone who tuned in today, thank y'all so much. Again, to my day ones, y'all be riding with me each week. Y'all be on here right at 8 o'clock. I appreciate y'all.
Girl, that was on time.
Listen, they be like, where you at, girl? I'm like, and for those who just tuned in and this is your first time and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I wish I could do this again. Guess what? I'll be here next week again, and I will actually download the replay. It will be available as soon as we hang up on my IGTV, so you can catch this episode as well as other episodes from the past. And thank you all just so much. Tell a friend, tell your girlfriend, share, whatever. I appreciate all of the support, and just know that we're here. And if you're married and if you just got married and you feel like, I'm so confused, guess what? It's okay. You're going to get through it. And we're here as like your support group, your tribe. So thank you to everyone. And Ashley, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.
To your husband for, getting his phone, even though it was okay.
It was okay to you. That's something another Libra would say. You were scared. I was about to give him a whooping. You're like, it's okay. It's okay.
I was like, it's really okay.
He likes to get in trouble. Don't.
You was like, Chea.
Listen, I don't care. When he has a phone call, it is silent. When I'm doing something, he want to be on the Wi-Fi, leave his work phones going off,
banging the refrigerator, making all types. What is that noise in the back?
I'm keeping him to the same standard that he keep me at. Come get your phone.
Right.
I know when we get off, I'm gonna apologize to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, baby.
Oh, look at you apologizing, Capricorn.
Don't do that. Now I'm not. You done messed it up for him.
But really, thank you so much, Ashley. Thank y'all so much. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, and in the words of Ashley, a joyful week, rest of the week. So thank y'all.
All people.
All people. Wink. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.